Well, it didn't take very long to get a first look at Season 2 of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and they dropped a massive reveal in the form of Gwen Stacy. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about what went down earlier today. The first look at Gwen Stacy in Season 2 of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and more importantly, her Spider-Gwen costume. That's right. Well, Season 1 of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man actually wrapped up earlier this week, and personally, I really liked the first season. I was pretty skeptical at the animation style and what they were doing, but honestly, the show was an absolute joy, leaning into nostalgia in a great way, and I am at the front of the line for Season 2. Now, what I wasn't expecting is to get anything for Season 2 rather quickly. We know how slow Marvel is on animation, but now we got our very first look at Season 2 directly from showrunner Jeff Trammell, and they will indeed introduce not only Gwen Stacy, but Spider-Gwen. So let's not beat around the bush and check out both of the pictures. Here's our first look at Gwen Stacy in Season 2. And here's our first look at Spider-Gwen. Now, the Gwen Stacy picture is pretty much what you would expect from this art style in this series, but man do I like the Spider-Gwen look. The costume itself is definitely reminiscent of Peter's early costumes. That's a tracksuit, those are definitely sneakers, and that looks like it could be an off-the-shelf hoodie. Now, what I do find interesting about the costume, though, is the device she's throwing up in her hand. Now, this distinctly looks like a pumpkin bomb, something Norman Osborn's Green Goblin is fairly well known to use, and it definitely suggests to me that the character herself could somehow be associated with Oscorp now that Peter and Norman have parted ways. Now, if you remember correctly, way back when that spider took a bite out of Peter Parker at Midtown High, he hitchhiked on somebody's bag. And if I'm making any guesses here, that is definitely Gwen Stacy. Now, this would be the first time we've seen Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen portrayed as the same age and from the same universe since that short-lived series back in 2017. Peter and Gwen's dynamic promises to be pretty cool for Season 2, and I do like them leaning into the character. Spider-Gwen is a big part of Sony's Spider-Verse, so maybe this is Marvel going back and forth with Sony and throwing them a little bone. I do, though, remain a little concerned that she could pull some of the spotlight from Peter Parker. This is a Spider-Man show, so I definitely want Spider-Man to remain the same character. And to introduce somebody as big as Spider-Gwen in Season 2, well, that's moving pretty fast. We still have a lot of other characters that have yet to be introduced, so it does leave me asking a lot of questions about the character's potential future in many things Marvel Studios. We're getting ready to drop a little bit of a video about Daredevil that dives into his appearance in this animated project, Charlie Cox voicing it, and how this signals a big future inside the Marvel Universe. And we could be seeing something very similar for Gwen Stacy's alter ego, Spider-Gwen. Now, the show just wrapped up this week, so obviously we have absolutely no news on when Season 2 is going to drop. I think best case scenario, it'll be about 2 years out, dropping maybe sometime in late 2026 or early 2027. Marvel is notoriously slow with their animated projects. We waited a really long time for this series, and I really just don't expect them to pick up the pace much more than we've seen for recent productions. Make sure you go check out Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man over on Disney+. It was a ton of fun, and I highly recommend it. This is definitely Marvel leaning into that classic nostalgia that brings fans in, and despite my early skepticism, they really did deliver on this series, and I was one happy fan. But until we know more, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Gwen Stacy and Spider-Gwen joining Season 2 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? And what do you think of this costume? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, before you take off though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the real, truthful superhero news, and we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are really in the know.